Flosstube, I'm Pam. Welcome to my channel. This is Flosstube number 32, and today is Monday, May 24th. And if you are stumbling across my channel for the first time and you're like, what the heck is Flosstube? It's a channel where I talk about cross stitch. There's a lot of us Flosstubers out there, and we mostly talk about things needle arts related. Yeah. I have a feeling today is going to be the episode where I say 50,000 times. I'm going to apologize in advance. It is a beautiful day outside and my windows are open and I live on a busy main road. So you may hear quite a bit of traffic noise. I can't control that. I did have to put my central air on over the weekend. It was very hot. I am in Rhode Island and it was about 90 degrees yesterday, in the humid kind of 90 degrees. So the central air went on, but today it's totally New England. Today it is like high 60s, no humidity, beautiful, open the windows. So traffic noise, it's going to happen today. Okay. If you are a returning viewer, thank you for coming back. The fact that you want to come back every week and watch me is amazing, because mostly I feel like a rambling ding dong half the time. And if you're new here, I hope that you stay a while. You can subscribe and maybe not subscribe if that's not your thing. Whatevs. I just said that. Oh my God, my kids would be rolling their eyes right now. Anyway, I have quite a few new subscribers, and so thank you. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Okay, what are we talking about today? As always, if you are new to cross stitch, new to Flosstube land, and I say things that you don't understand, I try to keep an updated glossary in the description box to define terms that I may use that sound mysterious, because I never remember to talk about what they mean during my video. Also, administrative wise, this week is the Hawk Run Hollow Stitch Together. So this Wednesday, May 26th at 7 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be hosting another Hawk Run Hollow Stitch Together. So if you are stitching on any of the Hawk Run Hollow patterns, it doesn't have to be, I personally am stitching on a year at Hawk Run Hollow, but you can be stitching on any of them, and you want to join me on the Zoom, and you have not already filled out the Google form, there is a Google form in the description box titled Hawk Run Hollow Stitch Together. Fill that out. I am sending out the email link, the Zoom link, through email tomorrow. So if by Wednesday morning, or if you are in a different time zone, I'm not going to pretend to play math time zones in my head. If by about 12 hours before start time, you have not received an email from me with the new Zoom link, let me know so that I can try to rectify that situation for you and send out a new one. What else do I want to say about that? I do make a new Zoom link every time. Zoom seems to be working for me at the moment. I know that there are different things I could be using in which I can use the same link. I don't know how to do that. We're just going to go with what's working, okay? So make sure that you check your emails for the new Zoom link if you are signed up for that. Okay. What else do I want to talk about before we get into what I've been stitching? I'm getting to the end of my under 1,000 subs club. So there's a hashtag going around. It's called hashtag 1,000, under 1,000 subs club. To kind of shout out people, other Flosstubers who haven't reached the 1,000 subscriber mark yet. And Michelle Bendy Stitchy, if you're not watching her, it kind of explains why that's, exciting, or / important in her last video. And so I'm going to kind of steal some of her reasoning. most of us Flosstubers are not in it for the subscriber count. We're just kind of trying to build a community and make friends. And at least that was my motivation for starting a Flosstube. But we have to play along with YouTube rules / land. And YouTube makes it easier to be a creator when you have at least 1,000 subscribers. You have the option to monetize if you want to. You have the option to make community posts. It's easier to get along with YouTube when you have at least 1,000 subscribers. So anyway, there's a hashtag going around where we're kind of shouting out people who haven't reached that mark yet. And yeah, so I have 2 more today. 2 more. I'm getting to the end of my list. I want to shout out a brand new Flosstuber. His Flosstube name is Chris Cross-Stitch, but it's like X Ross Stitch, you know, like cross, anyway, it'll be in the description box, the link. He was a delight to watch, like delightful. He only has 1 video out right now. I hope he makes a second. I really enjoyed watching him. He was a lot of fun. And then I know I've mentioned her before, but Mary X-Ray X-Stitcher is one of my favorites to watch. She is stitching a periodic table for her son, which is super cool. And every time she shows it, I think, oh, I wish I was stitching a periodic table. I don't know where I'd put it, and I'm coming to the end of my homeschool journey. So it's not like I've got any kids left that I'm homeschooling that would care about having a periodic table on the wall, but it's super cool, and I wish I was stitching it. So those were my shout outs this week. Quick life updates. I swear I have stitching to show. Although, I'll be honest, I don't have a lot because one of my whips ate up most of my time this week. If you've watched me recently, I think you know which one I'm talking about. Anyway, quick life updates. I have a new obsession. It's an old obsession that it has been reignited. This past week, I got a bird feeder. We have been in the house we're in now for 7 years. This might be our 7th summer. And before then, we lived in a more rural area. Think like lots of farms and lots of woods. And when I lived there, you just had to stick out like a cylinder feeder with some black sunflower seeds and you got like 1 million birds. Here, on the edge of a city, that's not so much the case. We get a lot of like grackles and starlings, and I call them Pawtucket birds, but they're house sparrows. You know, they're like boring and a little bit sassy and a little bit fresh, those kind of birds. And I didn't love them when I first moved here. They were not what I was used to. And now I've grown to love them. And the neighbor directly behind me put up a feeder in their backyard, and they are getting all sorts of things like chickadees and nuthatches and Baltimore Orioles. And I'm thinking, why don't I put up a feeder again? So I went out to the store this week and I got a pretty fancy bird feeder. I don't know if you have a Wild Birds Unlimited near you. They do have franchises all over the country. You need to go into one if there's one near you, because the options for bird feeders out there now is astounding. So I got this fancy like feeding station where I can put sliced oranges, and I can put a hummingbird feeder and a suet feeder, and like it's got all the things on it. And I've gotten some birds. And so now mostly I just want to sit out on my back porch and watch the birds. 7 years. I could have had a bird feeder in my backyard, and I have not, because I did not want to feed the city birds. That's horrible. I'm a mean person. I really have grown to love the city birds, but I am excited that there are some chickadees in the neighborhood, because I do love a chickadee. And nuthatches are my favorite. They make this little like beep, beep, beep noise, beep, 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 as they like hop up and down the trees. Okay, this is not a channel about backyard birding. Let's talk about some cross stitching. Okay, whips. What did I work on this week? This was the one that ate up most of my time. I literally worked on this Monday through Saturday. I touched this every single day. This is the Pixels That Made Us by pixstitch. It is a charity chart, so you donate to Child's Play, which is a lovely charity which donates like electronics and gaming systems to hospitals and I think group homes as well, so that the kids there have fun stuff to play with. Yeah, so you donate to that charity and then you send the email receipt over to Justin from Pixstitch and he gets you on the email list. I'm pretty sure you can still sign up for it. Anyway, it's going to spell the word gamer, and this week I worked on the letter M. I worked on this, hold on, this part right here, so like this half of the inner M, and then I had to backstitch the entire M. And then this morning I got a little bit of start on the E. Yeah, so I actually have a little bit I have to do in here that's not quite finished because I forgot that I didn't finish it. But that'll get done too. So G, A, M are done. We are 3/5 of the way done. Just the E and the R are left. Yeah, this is such a fun stitch. It is a little time consuming for me. I'm not used to all those different, all those different colors. And I'm going to show you my back. I don't have pristine backs because land if good enough, I don't care. But they don't usually look like this. Like my G, I was really patient and that G on the back looks almost like the G on the front. But then as you get into A and M, I was carrying threads everywhere. I didn't care anymore. It's a hot mess back there. Yeah, so I love this. So I'm stitching this for my son, my middle guy. And yeah. So E, which I started today, is going to be Sega Genesis, and the character list for the section I'm stitching now is a whole bunch of stuff I don't know. I never owned a Sega Genesis. I actually never owned a Nintendo when I was a kid. I didn't get my first Nintendo until I was married and out of the house. It was a Nintendo 64. So I never had a Sega Genesis. But one of the characters is going to be Ren from Ren and Stimpy. And although I never played whatever game Ren and Stimpy is from, I watched a heck of a lot of Ren and Stimpy on Nickelodeon in the 90s. So that'll be fun. That was a terrible show. Oh my gosh. Okay, anyway. I'm dating myself. All right, then I decided to do the 25/7 that everybody's been talking about, where you touch a project for 7 days, 25 minutes a day. And I asked last time, I didn't know who came up with this. I found out about it from watching Michelle Bendy. Bendy is not her last name. From watching Michelle at Bendy Stitchy. So a few people let me know that it is, I wrote it down. Where did I write it down? Julie McConnell from Reflection Stitching and Framing, I believe, came up with this concept. And so the project I worked on this week was Hawk Run Hollow. I decided to touch my oldest whip every day. So I did a little prepping for Wednesday's Stitch Together on the June block. So I finished all of these little, I don't know what they are. Are they roses on a rose arbor, or like baby strawberries, or just pink doodads? I don't know. But I stitched the outline for all of them so that I can just go back and fill them in on Wednesday. I stitched this strawberry. It just needs a little bit. The leaves need to get filled in and the darker things need to go in there. And so I'll continue to try to work on this every day this week as well. I'm already failing though, because I did not this morning. I had a late start this morning. And if I don't do that 25 minutes in the morning, it doesn't happen. I'm stitching this, by the way, this is Hawk Run Hollow by Carriage House Samplings. And I'm stitching it on 40 count Legacy by Picture This Plus. In case, I know I've got a lot of new viewers, so if you have not seen this yet, I've got the January, February, and March block done. I'm working, I've gotten a little bit of some other blocks done. But my focus right now is trying to get that June block done, because my WIPGO for this month was to get a block on this done, and that's the closest one. So I'm hoping to get this done by the end of this month, the June block. I don't know, we'll see. My WIPGO, May is the first month where my WIPGO goals I don't think are getting met. But they will by the end of the year, and so that's okay. I'm not gonna stress about it. It's a game. It's supposed to be for fun. If you are not familiar with WIPGO, it is a game that Jessie Marie from Jessie Marie Does Stuff came up with. And it's a bingo board where I don't have my stitching journal over here. I'd show you my bingo board, my WIPGO board. There's 25 squares. One is a free space. You plug in projects in each square, and then the goals you wanna make on those projects, and then each block has a number, and then Jessie Marie at the end of every month calls 2 numbers for the next month, and those are the goals that you have to meet, the blocks that, yeah. I have links in the description box where Jessie Marie explains this a heck of a lot better than I do. Okay, so that was Hawk Run Hollow. And then lastly, this is gonna be a fast one this week. I worked on Forever and Ever by Cottage Garden Samplings. And this is number 1 in the Songbird Garden series. This was my New Year, New Start this year. This is so pretty. It's like really pretty. So this was called this month on my WIPGO to get a bird and a flower done. And I already had a bird and a flower done from previous WIPGO block getting called. So, ta-da! I got a flower done. So this is the one I already had done, and now I've got 2 flowers done. And then I got a good start on that female cardinal. My husband was looking over my shoulder last night, and he was like, I really love that cardinal. Like, I do too. And now I'm working on cardinal number 2. So this should get finished this year. If I meet my WIPGO goals, it will be a finish. Okay, that was it. 3 WIPs this week. That's okay. And I'm just finding in general, I spent a lot of time on my back porch just looking at birds without stitching. And then the world is opening back up to me, and my homeschool life is ending, and I'm re-entering the workforce, which for me means I'm a real estate agent. So it means I've got to sort of slide back into that and kind of meld my professional life with my husband's. So that'll be, we're working on it. We spent the past few weeks trying to figure out like what that looks like for us. He's a real estate agent as well. So the whole plan when I first got my license was that we would be a team together, and COVID happened, and it's harder to do that sort of work than you think it is when you homeschool, like, cause there's not a set schedule. So it's hard to like work around. Anyway, we don't need to talk about that. The whole point being that I'm spending some time getting like re-entering professional life and watching a lot of birds and not getting as much stitching done as I did over the winter time, where I got a ton of stitching done. And that tends to be my rhythm anyway in the warmer months, especially once my pool gets opened in 2 weeks. I stitch less, because it's really hard to stitch while you're sitting by the pool. Your hand gets kind of like hot under the fabric, and yeah. And then I worry that like wet children will splash my projects. And I mean, I don't need to tell you why pool stitching might not be a great idea. Okay, so where are we at now? I have no haul this week, which is probably good considering how much I had last week. So nothing to show you there. So that leaves us with plans. I'm gonna work on this section, this week's section of the Pixels That Made Us. I'm going to work on Hawkhorn Hollow. At the very least, I'm going to be touching it Wednesday evening with those of you who are joining me. I'm going to work on that cardinal on Forever and Ever. And I plan on going to the World in Stitches for their Stitchy group on Saturday. Although I do realize now that's Memorial Day weekend. I don't know if she's hosting one. If she is, I will be there. Also, now that I'm thinking about it, next Monday will be Memorial Day. So I don't know what my plans are yet. I may have to push off filming till Tuesday. It depends on whether my parents host a Memorial Day barbecue, which they are known to do. So we'll play that one's up in the air right now. You may see a video Monday or you may see it Tuesday. Because sometimes holidays happen. Also, I forgot to mention under WIPs, my back wall is different and it's not finalized yet. It's still in the land of works in progress. I still have a tag. Where is my pointer finger? A tag on that wreath. I actually want to lower the wreaths, and I think I want to lower this whole situation, which, if you are new to my channel, this is Suffrage Act by Little House Needleworks. And that is Summer is the Sea in a Shell. I think that's what it says on it, and I think that's what its name is, and it's by Core Batacore. I probably just destroyed that. Whatever. I don't speak Italian. So I want to lower these. They're a little high. Yeah. So pretend that you don't see that yet because it's not finished. Okay. That's everything I need to say. And that leaves us with last week's giveaway. So I was giving away for my 1-year Flosstubeversary, Stitch Toolbox May Mystery Bag. So I asked everyone who was interested to use the word May. I was not very original there in their comments, and Wendy Lambert won. Yay, Wendy Lambert. That's so exciting for you. So that'll be going out this week. And I have no giveaways for this week, mostly because I am ill-prepared. Yeah, I think that's it for me. Holy moly, it's not even 30 minutes. I knew this was going to be a fast one. They can't always be long, right? You got to mix it up. Is there anything else I want to say? I almost forgot to tell you under plans. If you've been watching a while, you know that I've been talking about getting my hair permed for what feels like months. It's happening this week. So on Thursday, this hopefully will be getting permed. Unless I sit down in the chair and the hairdresser says to me, maybe this isn't a good idea and here's why, then I won't. But it's scheduled. So when you see me next, whatever is this care, it should be have something going on. At the very least, it will be cut. So I have not had a haircut in over a year, and it shows. It might be around a year. It's probably about a year since my last haircut. So wish me luck. I haven't had a perm since like 1989. Okay. Now that's really it. That's all I have. I will see you all next week. I hope that you do all the things that you're hoping to get done this week. And I don't really know what else I want to say. I need to have a sign off. Every single week I get all silly at the end. Like, I need a little poem, like a little goodbye poem. I'm going to work on that. All right. Stay well, stay safe. Hopefully if you want to get a lot of stitching done, you can get a lot of stitching done, and I will see you next week. Bye everyone.